Among the tranquil stretches of eastern Britannia, long ago before the fires of rebellion warmed the horizon, a queen rode with her king. She was Boudica, queen of the Iceni, one of the Celtic tribes galore that studied the green misty isles. The Iceni, born warriors that they were, had learned a precarious peace with Rome when their territories had been usurped by Emperor Claudius's invasion in 43 AD. They had become client king subjects to Roman rule. But the precarious agreement concealed discontent. Perseudigus, Boudica's husband, an Iceni king, had gained peace by befriending Rome, hoping diplomacy would protect his people. But Rome does not honor weakness. He died, leaving his empire to his daughters and Emperor Nero in common, expecting peace to ensue. Roman officials arrived instead in chains, whips, and iron. His will was defied. The lands of the Iceni were conquered. Boudica was unmoving as her daughters were abused and she herself was whipped, becoming the reluctant symbol of Roman betrayal. The Romans made a deadly error mistaking Boudica's silence for defeat. They had dishonored a queen, violated a people, and believed they'd broken the Iceni spirit. But in the hidden groves and sacred glades of Britannia, warriors sharpened swords. Boudica, widow and mother of the shamed, was more than a queen. She was a revenant, forged from the ashes of injustice, a rallying cry. She did not act alone. The Trinovantes, another tribe ravaged by Rome, arrived to assist her. Others followed them, uniting behind a single banner of rebellion. They were an enormous coalition of tribes. This was more than a war, it was a revenge campaign. Boudica vowed to burn the Roman plague from her earth. Her chariot, driven by 2 horses, would be an instrument of vengeance. The first of the Roman cities to fall was Camulodunum, modern Colchester, the old capital of Roman Britannia. Proudly built on consecrated Celtic land, it housed the temple to Claudius, a massive provocation of the native Britons. When Boudica's troops descended upon them, there was no mercy. Roman veterans, retired soldiers, and civilians huddled behind flimsy defenses, expecting reinforcements. They never came. The temple was set ablaze. The city was burnt to the ground. Over 20,000 Romans and their allies were slaughtered. Estimates indicate no survivors. Roman arrogance had summoned Celtic fire, and Boudica delivered it. Camulodunum's smoldering remains served as testament. This was no mob violence. It was war. Word arrived at Roman commander Gaius Suetonius Paulinus, a battle-hardened field commander in Wales. He marched south and realized he could not rescue Londinium, London. The town lacked proper defenses. So, with a calculated chill, he withdrew it, leaving its people to their fate. Boudica's troops arrived shortly after. Fire rained down from heaven. Londinium, the commercial hub of the Romans, was a battleground of corpses. Women and the elderly killed, merchants thrown into the Thames. The revolt was indiscriminate. It was revenge. Boudica's path was one of cities reduced to ashes. Paulinus wouldn't allow it. He gathered by Watling Street, choosing a constricted dale with woods in the rear, a fine place to neutralize Boudica's numbers. His troops, 10,000 legionaries. Boudica's men, maybe over 200,000 tribesmen, but untrained. She gave a rousing speech, promising freedom or death. But Paulinus was a tactician. When the Britons came forward, the Roman shield wall was firm. The slaughter was swift. Roman pila shredded the front ranks, and then the counterattack. Surrounded by the Roman swords and their own wagons, the Britons were caught between a rock and hard place. 10,000 were killed. The rebellion died on that blood-soaked earth. Boudica escaped the battle, but lived only briefly. She is said to have poisoned herself by others. Others think she became ill. Her body was never found, but her legend started right then. Rome reclaimed what it had lost, but again they would never trust Britannia. Paulinus was stripped of authority, too cruel even for Nero. For the Britons, Boudica was not defeated. She was immortalized. For hundreds of years, she moved from whispers to verse to book pages. In Victorian England, she was remodeled as a national heroine. Statues were raised, trains bore her name. Boudica, the war queen, was now larger than history. She was myth and will always be remembered in time and in history.